Hi, I'm Helena Hendricks, and I'm checking in for Mental Health Monday because staying on top of our mental health is very important, especially during this time of isolation. Let me tell you a little bit about me. In 2015, I had two major strokes within 48 hours of each other. A little over a year later, I had a TIA. A week after that TIA, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. So during 2017, I had my fight with breast cancer, which ended in me having a bilateral mastectomy, and I chose to stay flat. Fast forward to today. This is my medications for each day, and everything can't even fit in here. Now I have the health that I'm going through. I'm also a student. I have been in school for over 10 years, working part-time off and on because of my health. I have been going to school part-time for over 10 years, off and on because of my health and other issues. We all know how it is when you go to school. You got to drop out because of this, go back and forth, whether it be money, life, whatever. But to make the long story short, I've been going to school for over 10 years trying to get a 2-year degree. Okay, so I'm in school. I have this health stuff going on. And then we have COVID-19. Everyone knows me as being a strong person because I have been through so much. I've been through the domestic violence. I've been through all the health stuff. I've been through a lifetime of trauma. But what they don't know about is, even though I'm a strong person, I'm not always strong. I wasn't always strong. Going through this COVID-19 right now. Wait. Before this COVID-19 got out of hand, I started having while I was going through my breast cancer fight, my grandmother was going through a uterine cancer fight. Around, during this last 5 years or so, I've learned that I have an extensive family history of cancer. That was a bit disturbing to find out. So my grandmother had uterine cancer and her grandmother had uterine cancer. So naturally, I kind of picked up a pattern. I had breast cancer. My grandmom's sister had breast cancer. My dad's sister had breast cancer. My great-grandmom's sister had breast cancer. It's just, a strong family history of cancer. So when I started having these symptoms, knowing that my grandmom had the uterine cancer and her grandmom had the uterine cancer, I immediately went to the doctor to get checked out. I stay on top of that anyway. That's important as it is. That's a given. So I go in for an extra appointment. Like, I need an emergency appointment, To make the long story short, so the doctor decides he wants to, we'll put it like this. I started having these weird symptoms. I started having odd cramping at odd times, an irregular cycle, breakthrough, bleeding, just something's not right. So I go get an extra appointment. The doctor wanted to rule out endometriosis. And endometriosis is when the lining grows on the outside of the uterine wall. If I'm not mistaken, that is what endometriosis is. And the doctor wanted to rule out not endometriosis, but its cousin, adenomyosis, or its sister, which is the opposite. And instead of it growing on the outside of the uterus, it grows into the uterus wall. So he sent me to get an ultrasound. I get the ultrasound done. And to make matters even worse, I get the results to the test in my email before I even see the doctor. And let me tell you something. If you ever get your results before it's time to go to the doctor, don't read your results. All you're going to do is just keep thinking and stressing and having unnecessary worry. Wait till you see that doctor, because you are not a doctor. So my results, and when I go to the doctor, they both pretty much what I already read, that I have fibroids. And fibroids are pretty much benign tumors. And the doctor is not worried about it. He's like, oh, no, they're small. I'm not worried. We're just going to monitor. Like, he knew my family history. That's why he rushed for me to get the ultrasound to rule it out. Then, I had called my grandma when I read my results, and I told her what we found, because, you know, when she found out she had uterine cancer for a whole year, they told her it was just fibroids, and really it was more. I called my grandma. My grandma starts praying immediately, tells me to pray. We bind it, we rebuke it. And we claim and stand on my healing, that I am healed completely from all cancer in the name of Jesus. And I decide that I want to leave it at that. And I move on, go to the doctor, and he decides that he just wants to monitor. So I got all worked up for nothing. But I didn't tell anybody what I was going through, except for my grandma. Because the way I seen it is, even if it was cancer, the Lord brought me to it, He'll bring me through it. He's never left me or forsaken me. He's always been there for me. Always been on time. Has brought me through more than I can ever explain. You don't know like I know what He's done for me. But you know what? I'm not even praying on it. I'm not praying on it. I'm not worried about it. But what I am praying on is something that is disturbing and heavy, has been heavy on my mind, and it's been disturbing. And somebody's got to pray on it. Now, I'm not mocking other people's prayers, how they pray, what they pray for, but there are a lot of empty prayers going up, going out. You know, the power of life and death is in our tongue. But you're speaking out emptiness. Some people are praying for something simple and empty, like, God bless us because of this COVID-19. What is that? I'm not worried about this COVID-19. I'm not even worried about sitting in this daggone house. Because you know what? Sitting in this house right now, this don't feel unfamiliar. Being locked in a house staring out a window. I don't even watch TV. But just sitting here, just staring at the trees and afar, looking at the grass or a leaf blowing across the yard. I was like, why does this look so familiar to me? And that's when I realized it was familiar to me because it reminded me of sitting in a jail cell staring out a window. So I've been here before. I know how to survive. I know how to get through this. This is nothing. I've been through worse. So I'm prepared for this. So I'm not praying about this and worrying and stressing over this because I know God got it. I've already been through that. Been there, done that. With that worry, hair falling out, acne all over my face, all types of stuff. I've been there. I ain't trying to do it again. I don't want to see another pimple. For real. You can have the pimples. I don't want to see another pimple. But the things I am praying for, I want to know who else is praying for it. I'm praying for there's a lot of, like I said, we have a lot of strong people. But you got to remember, hurt people too. So there's a lot of hurt people out there hurting more people. So I'm praying for those hurt people. I'm praying for those who are being abused and are trapped in isolation with their abusers. I'm praying for the elderly who are being abused, the elderly who are at high risk. I'm praying for the children who are being abused, whether it be by their parent or someone else. Because, most often when kids are abused, it is by someone they know. It is by family, parent, guardian, caretaker, whatever. I'm praying for the missing and exploited children, and the missing children and their families who had to temporarily stop their search because of this isolation. I am praying for them. I am praying for those who are in dysfunctional families, for the children whose normal life is chaos and their escape from it is school, and now they lost their escape because they are stuck at home. I'm praying for the kids who are at home school and they have questions and don't understand things and their parents can't even read and are barely above their grade level to help them. I'm praying for those kids who need education and don't have an educated person to teach them and help them. I'm praying for the teens who hate everyone, trust no one, and just want to escape the real life, escape in real life or in death from their dysfunctional family or their dysfunctional life. I'm praying for that child that has special needs, that has an impatient caretaker. I'm praying for those who are brokenhearted. I'm praying for those who are in mourning. Praying for the exploited children. Those who are being molested, abused, neglected. And they can't fend for themselves. They can't defend themselves. They can't even speak up and seek help because of this isolation. We've been praying for those who are strong because we get weak too. Sometimes it's hard to always put on a strong face when all you want to do is cry. Sometimes all I wanted to do was cry. I thought about the possibility of having uterine cancer. It's like, oh God, not again. I can't do that again. I can't go through that cancer again. I can't lose my hair again. I can't do it. I won't do it. Remember, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus Christ. I ain't even worried about that. And sometimes we could worry about things unconsciously. Like you say, well, I'm not worried about that, or I put that in God's hands. And then 10 minutes later, you're thinking about it again. And then you keep thinking about it. Guess what? That's worry. And what is worry? Fear. And God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So you have your peace. Pray for those who can't pray for themselves. A lot of things that we've been through and that we gotten out of, or that you ever been in a situation where it's just like, oh God, I know that was you. Like, something happened, you got caught at a red light that you almost had, and you're mad you missed the light, and you got stuck at a red light. But at the next corner, there was a bad crash that if you had made the light, you would have been in that crash. God made a way for you. Or you went out, let's say if you went out partying, or you were in a bad area. No, I'm not going to say bad area. You could be in any area and something happens. Let's say you were somewhere, some things started to not go the right way, and you could have been in danger. Somebody was praying for you. Now, people pray for you who don't even know you. I pray for people I don't even know all the time. There are people who are praying for you, and there are people who need your prayer.